All right, let's jump right in. Have you ever really thought about the story behind the stuff you own? Where did it actually come from? What's it made of? And maybe the biggest question of all, is it even real? Well, today we're going to talk about a piece of tech that's designed to answer all of that: the digital product passport. Think of it like a secret, unlockable story for everything you buy. But hang on, why do we even need this in the first place? Well, it really boils down to this one huge problem: the problem of proof. In this massive, complicated global economy of ours, it's become incredibly hard to check if the claims made about any product are actually true. And let's make this personal for a second. Think about that expensive bag you saved up for, or maybe that really nice jacket. How can you be 100% sure it's the real deal? The kind of scary truth is, it's getting tougher and tougher to know for sure. And we're not talking about a small problem here. The global market for fake goods is estimated to be worth $500 billion every single year. That is a mind-blowing amount of money going into a black market that just tanks brand trust and honestly funds a lot of other nasty stuff. But counterfeiting is really just the tip of the iceberg. The push for this technology is coming from three big places. First, that massive counterfeit market. But second, businesses themselves are struggling with what they call data silos. Basically, the design team, the factory, the logistics guys, and the store, they all use different systems that don't talk to each other. It's a mess. And third, there's a ton of new regulatory pressure, especially from Europe, demanding that companies prove a product's entire story. So, with all that going on, what's the solution to this whole problem of proof? Well, it's the digital product passport. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like a resume, but for your product. So, to get a little more official, a digital product passport, or DPP, is a digital tool that gives you the complete, always up-to-date information on a product's entire life. It follows an item from the moment its raw materials were sourced all the way to you, making every single step totally verifiable. So, what kind of stuff is on this resume? We are talking everything. Manufacturing details, like exactly where and when it was made, its precise material composition, all of its official certifications, a complete history of who has owned it, and even instructions on how to repair it or eventually recycle it. It is literally the product's entire life story, all in one secure digital spot. And here's why that matters. A DPP is built to answer the questions we should all be asking about our stuff. Is this authentic? What is it actually made of? Where did it come from? How do I take care of it? And, so importantly, can it be recycled? A DPP doesn't just give you claims, it gives you the evidence. So you might be wondering, why is all of this happening right now? Well, it turns out there are four huge forces all coming together at once, making these passports not just a nice-to-have, but a must-have. First up, it's that constant battle against fakes. Brands are finally realizing that to protect their name and their customers, they have to be able to prove that every single item, not just a batch, but every individual item, is legit. Another huge driver? The government is getting involved. The European Union is really leading the charge here with new regulations. And what that really means is, if you want to sell your products in the EU, you're going to have to provide cold, hard evidence about a product's journey and its environmental impact. No more vague promises. And then there's us, the customers. We're demanding more. We want to know if that organic cotton t-shirt is really organic. We want to be able to repair our stuff instead of throwing it away. This huge push for real transparency is forcing companies to back up their claims with proof. And finally, let's be honest, there's a big-time business reason. It just makes sense. Companies are desperate for a single source of truth to make their supply chains run smoother, manage their inventory better, and stop making costly mistakes. DPPs are the answer to breaking down those data silos we talked about. So when you put it all together, you've got these four powerful drivers: fighting fakes, new government rules, customer demands for sustainability, and the need for business efficiency. And they all point to the digital product passport as the key to a much more transparent future. Now, some industries are feeling this pressure way more than others, and fashion is right in the middle of a perfect storm. Why? Well, think about it. You've got high-end luxury goods that are magnets for fraud. You've got incredible complexity in materials and dyes. You've got resale and recycling to think about, and it is full of sensitive claims like eco-friendly or ethically made that people want proof for. Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but how does it actually work? What's the technology that makes this whole thing secure and trustworthy? Let's pop the hood and take a look. So, how do you keep this digital passport safe? Well, a lot of the time, the engine running this thing is blockchain. You can think of it like a super secure shared digital notebook. It gives you a few amazing things. One, once a fact is written down, it's basically impossible to change. Two, the notebook is shared, so no single company can control it. And three, you can build in automatic rules. But, and this is a really big but, the technology itself has no way of knowing if the information being put into the notebook was true in the first place. It's the old garbage in, garbage out problem. So the tech gives you a secure record, but you absolutely still need trusted people and systems to provide accurate data to begin with. So now that we kind of get the tech, how does a company actually go from this cool idea to a real working digital product passport on its products? Well, there's actually a pretty clear roadmap. For an industry like fashion, it really boils down to 5 key steps. First, you have to decide what exactly you're tracking, every single shirt or just a batch of them. Second, you pick a carrier. Is it going to be a QR code on the label or maybe a tiny NFC chip sewn into the seam? Third, you figure out what data needs that super high security of the blockchain and what can live elsewhere. Fourth, and this is critical, you set the rules. Who gets to write data to the passport? And finally, you design the experience so it's easy for customers and even auditors to use. So, what's the big takeaway from all of this? It's actually pretty simple. Digital product passports turn vague claims into hard evidence. And with new regulations coming fast, this isn't some far-off futuristic idea. We're expecting to see widespread use by 2026. This is happening, like right now. I think this quote just nails it perfectly. DPPs are becoming indispensable because they convert authenticity, compliance, and sustainability from claims into verifiable evidence. It's a fundamental shift from a world of trust me to a world of show me the proof. And that kind of leaves us with one final thought. Pretty soon, with just a quick scan of your phone, the clothes you're wearing, the gadgets you use, everything you buy will be able to tell you its own verified life story. The only question left is, are you ready to listen?